Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, it is Garfield caught in the act for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. Yes, this actually got a European release, and from what people have told me, as much as Garfield was popular in America, Garfield was pretty popular in Europe too, especially in the UK. I know now that, what was it? Children's ITV, that's it. CITV, Children's ITV, whatever you want to call it. They showed Garfield and Friends for some time back in the 90s, so at least I know that it aired there. So if you couldn't already tell, this game's a 2D platformer starring Garfield, the fat orange cat who debuted in the comic sections of quite a few newspapers around the world. Well, not exactly around the world but definitely in North America back in 1978. And there actually is a story here. Believe it or not, Garfield's watching TV. Odie scares him. And then he lands on the TV, breaks the TV, fixes the TV as best as he can, and yet when he does that, this weird alien bug-like thing, bigger than the couch, comes out of the TV. There we go. Kidnaps Garfield and traps him in the TV. There, that's the story. I also want to show off the options menu first. There is a sound and music test, but there's also two difficulties. There's Kitty and Normal. I like the fact that the Garfield logo is pushed into the top center there. You can input a password. There are passwords for this game, and there are different passwords depending on which difficulty you're playing on. I'm going to be playing on Kitty for now. I may do a normal one down the line. And you can also play the bonus round, which I'll also show off in this video as well. Anyway, not much else to say here. Let's go ahead and get the game started. And when you start the game, you get to see a nice little screen here telling you what stuff does. You have hamburgers and pizza that refill your health. I believe hamburgers give you 5 hit points back, while pizza refills it completely. You have ammunition. You can throw that at enemies. You press A to throw ammunition at enemies, so that way you can attack them from a distance. There's the Garfield icon, which is an extra life. There's Garfield's stuffed teddy bear Pookie, which is a way marker. That's basically a checkpoint. There's the mallet key, which gives us a second bonus game that you can't play at any time on the options menu. That's the other bonus stage that you play no matter what. The cup of coffee gives you temporary invincibility. You can't destroy enemies, but enemies can still pass through you. You still have to attack them to defeat them, though. And there's a TV remote, which lets you get out of places and also get to other sections of said places. Somebody had fun making this song. I haven't heard this all the way through in a while. Anyway, let's go ahead and press start, and we get to see the story again. When does the broadcast day end ever now? That never happened even when I got this game as a kid. Anyway, Odie scares Garfield. Oh no, the TV is broken. If we can't fix it, we're in trouble. I'm not even gonna do the Lorenzo music voice. I can't do it. There, all fixed. Sort of. Oops, extra parts. Yeah, just throw them behind the couch. John won't notice. And then that thing shows up. That is Glitch. That is the ultimate and final boss of the game. Glitch kidnaps Garfield, traps him in the TV, and now Garfield has to find his way out. Also, if you hear that fanfare out of nowhere, that's because if you leave Garfield standing around for long enough. He does do a little dance like he's caterwailing on the, or is it caterwauling on the fence? I don't even know how to pronounce that word. It's a recurring thing in the strips where Garfield sings and dances on the fence only to get tomatoes thrown at him. I know the strip used to do that. I don't know if it still does it now because I haven't read Garfield in a long time. But anyway, left and right lets you move around, up lets you look up, down crouches and looks down, C jumps, B doesn't attack, assuming you're in any of the levels, and assuming you're in any of the levels, A lets you throw stuff, assuming you have ammunition. Ammunition will be in the lower right-hand corner of the screen in case you have it. You'll always see your lives in the lower left, and you'll always see your hit points, which you have 10 of and no more, in the upper left. Try very hard not to lose your hit points because you do not have a lot of invincibility frames in this game. Anyway, by jumping into this, we can climb on this. And if the person out there would stop screaming, that would be great. There's a portal right there. We need to jump into it. Also, the little electricity fields will damage you. You're probably wondering about that. And I have been talking for 7 minutes straight before finally getting in the first level, Count Slobula's castle. So we have ammo. We have 20 things to throw at stuff. And we have an attack now. It is a stake with a mitten on top of it. At least I think it's a mitten. I'm not sure. Or maybe it is a torch. I can't tell. Maybe it's supposed to be a torch, and I can't exactly see it. So anyway, there's an above ground section for this level and an underground section for this level. And there was a hand there. Let's go into it. Really, game? Let's go into the underground level, at least one part of it. And there's the invincibility coffee. And there's an enemy. So the skeleton cats, they take 2 hits to the feet if you use your regular weapon. Or your ammunition. Also, you need to grab onto the Odie tongues that are hanging off of the ceiling in order to try to find a way out. The way out will be in the form of a brick rising out of the floor that you need to stand on and stay there in order to get back above ground. The skeleton cats are really annoying. They can throw bones at you, and I think they can also do it from off screen. Also, that gate that I jumped over, you do not want to land on that because that does hurt you. And of course, there are some hands like this that reach out and try to grab you. That's what I hit. I was hitting a... Yeah, they do hit you from off screen, the jerks. Well, we're going down here now. We're getting some health back. There's also bats. Those take 1 hit to the feet, but only 1 hit to the feet. 1 hit. Great, I can't speak to save my life. But they fly around rather erratically. There's also the ghosts, which kind of fly around in a circle and try to fly at you. They also take 1 hit to the feet. Why did I run into that? And yeah, you do not flash those invulnerability frames for very long. Okay. Thankfully, you can stand on the statues. And I'm pretty sure... Okay, no. There isn't. There isn't a hand there. The hands take 1 hit to the feet, but they can attack you pretty quickly, and they can respawn, too. And like I said, these things attack from off-screen, and I don't like that. At least you stand a fighting chance when you're near these guys. And all these coffins, you can open them for power-ups, but you can also open them for enemies. They only contain 1 thing, though, so don't open them a second time expecting anything else to pop out. because nothing will. And we're going to have to go all the way over here to get to the way out. I'm surprised it didn't play on startup when I started the game, though it played every subsequent time that the Sega screen showed up. I should have just thrown ammunition. That obviously wasn't going to get me anywhere, trying to hit the bone out of the air like that. You know, you're better off not even trying. You're better off just jumping to avoid it, because you're not going to hit it out of the air. It's too fast. And that's assuming you can jump over it at all. Thankfully, the ghosts make a woo noise whenever it shows up. Are you kidding me, game? Just throw the bone at me from off screen with supreme accuracy. And of course, if you needed health, it's right there. Oh my word. And how was I supposed to see that bat? Well, I did hit it, but it did me nothing. It did me no good. And I didn't need to jump over there. I could have just jumped straight up and still hit Pookie there. And what do you know? Enemies respawn. Who'da thunk it? Can you stop doing this, game? Also, that is in reverse. Now, if you go down here... Really? If you go down here, you will find a treasure trove of ammunition and bats to beat up, but you will be sent back. Matter of fact, the exit is right over to the area to the right of that wall. You're forced with no other choice than to go to the left here, but at least you can refill some health. You can beat up some ghosts. You can beat up some bats. You can go through this wall to enter another place where you can narrowly avoid getting hit by a skeleton cat who has more accuracy than that boomerang boss from the first Streets of Rage game. Antonio, that's his name. And yeah, we're back at the second checkpoint, and enemies are going to respawn. And I did it right this time. Well, at least the bats don't show up again, but the skeleton cats do, which makes them just a massive pain. Yeah, you want to jump to the third thing after that. And how did I avoid getting nabbed? Anyway, let's grab the mallet key. Let's take care of him. And this is the finale here. This is the final place we need to go. Both of those holes take you to the same place, but you drop it through the second one, like dead center through the second one, you'll just land on the TV remote instantly. And you can't exit through here. There is no tongues. Only way to get out is through the TV remote. And now it's time for our first battle. Count Slobula, which is Odie is a vampire. Odie will send 3 bats at you. They act much like the regular bad enemies. You want to take care of at least 2, and then get away from him. And then once he dives at you, he will stand there for a little while. You want to hit him with your regular attack, and then he'll jump into a coffin. You want to jump on the coffin and then jump into the blinds that are directly above that coffin. If you do it quickly enough, you'll cause the sunlight to come out of the window. It will stun and damage Count Slobula there, and you'll get one of your 3 hits done. You need to do this 3 times in order to defeat Count Slobula, and I am now down to 3 hit points. Sometimes hit him. Sometimes the coffins will give you power-ups when they're opened. Sometimes they won't. I did not look out, but I somehow managed to survive doing this. And he is now doing the panting animation. I did not know that he did this. If you stand around after beating a boss. That is a really nice touch from the game. Anyway, let's go ahead and touch the TV remote and get on out of here. Now for the mallet game. There's one character you don't have to hit, yet you shouldn't hit. Don't hit them, hit everyone else. And the 6 holes represent the buttons on this Genesis 6-button controller. The top ones are X, Y, and Z, while the bottom ones are A, B, and C. And if you know what you're doing, you can do really well at this game and even get letters. And if you miss twice, you're done. Now, you get that bonus area if you get the mallet key. Here's the one you always get no matter what, and the one that you can play on the options menu. You're going through this tube for a commercial break. Get 18 Pokies to win a life, 25 to win a continue, and it can be a little hard just because of how our good buddy Garfield maneuvers here, and I couldn't get enough. I only got 12. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see what you're doing and where you're going. All the colors just kind of seem to blend in, and I wish the colors were a little better on that. But yeah, you move around pretty quickly when you move Garfield around with the control pad in that little bonus area. So you have to be really careful and just really get used to the controls and how Garfield moves. Thankfully, the game lets you play it in the options menu. I'm guessing the developers understood that you could have trouble with it. And I should have done that, but you can still easily beat this game in one sitting, which the game expects you to. Or actually, no. There is passwords. I forgot there's a password system. But even if you don't have continues and you know what you're doing, you can still get through this game pretty well. So anyway, we can stand on these little resistors here, and we can make our way up and around to get to the next portal. But we're going to enter that portal in the next video. So join me next time where we take on the second level of this game. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!